Okay, this is based on, this is another plugin. This is based on libnoise, which is a library for coherent noise, so Perlin and friends. Turbulence, there's a whole list of them. And again, I've forgotten how to use the chat box, so I'll post the link when I upload this. But the idea is that you make modules for different sorts of noise, and then you glue them together. So you have one coming into another, and they all feed into a final result. The linkage stuff that I have also recorded something for just before this. I imagine this would work beautifully with that, where you could have nodes representing the incoming and outgoing node module, and then have one value at the end that samples them. I will probably try to do that, but I do not have that done now. I have these. I worked from the examples on libnoise's page. So 1, 2 through 6, and then 8. I think I did a little bit for 7. Well, 7 I did. Although there's another one that follows on 7 that's a whole planet, and I haven't done that. I haven't done any of the samples of the planet. I don't think I will do the planet. It's just too huge. There's one of the little worms that does look kind of interesting, but it does look like it's more work than just something in a couple hours. And there was another one. Oh, I think there's a bunch of little textures that you can generate, and those might also be interesting to do. So you can kind of see, these are all based on the samples. You basically you make a module like so, and sometimes it'll have properties you can set, and then you can plug it into another one. And at the very end, what I'm doing is I'm piping it into an object into a display object. So it's just another solar object at that point. And I'll show a couple of these. So I think there are distinctions among the first several examples, but I don't think I was accounting for that when I was writing them. So I think 2, 3, and 4 all become this. And apologies if you can hear that in the background. There's someone delivering bread in the neighborhood. Okay, so it makes Perlin noise and builds a height map out of it. You can sort of set where in the world this height map is looking and what kind of window into the map you have. And you'll render to an image, and you can say what colors these heights what colors result from the heights in the height map. So that's how we get this geography that results. So you can see there's green, there's gray, there's blue. And so this would be blue, this would be green. I guess this is the gray, so it's rock. Green is short, deeps. Right, and these, you just basically specify all the gradients you care about in order from lowest to highest. There's still some work. This was a confusing bug for a while because if you specify them out of order, it throws an error in C++. And I have not hardened against all of those C++ exceptions that this can throw, so that's still work to be done. But that's what I'm aware of as far as the remaining errors go. I'm sure I'll find more as I test more modules. But so then you can specify light and the lighting. There's a number of other things. What else have we got? So, example successes. I'll show. That was example 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think it's 3. Even. I don't think 4 looks any different right now. I'll show 5. And this, what did this demonstrate? I've forgotten what all of these are. Okay, this is showing billow, scale bias, and ridge multi. So these are different. This has mountains, flat terrain, and mountains. And I think right. So this also has a much lesser gradient. So it doesn't have quite as much variety as example 4. We can, well, so example 6 adds turbulence to this, I believe. So I'll show that. So you see it breaks this up a little bit. And I can add it. I also have some animation I can. Oops. Several windows open, I apologize. I'm confusing myself in what I have open. Okay, so I can animate this. So the mountainous terrain, it'll change the frequency and the noise and the frequency and power of the noise if I do this. So here we can see it. It can go from almost cartoony to fairly detailed. Yeah, there we get radical variations in in the noise. I'll just leave that on actually, the animation. So I have, oh, I triggered an error. I'll pretend that didn't happen, but I'll investigate it at some point later. So example 7. And I'll go back to this. And maybe I didn't do number 7. I don't see it listed here, so I think I skipped example 7. Example 8. Okay. No, this one we don't want animation on. This is a okay. So this is mapped onto what's called a model. We can there's a few shapes. There's a line, a sphere, a cylinder, and a rectangle or a plane. And a plane would be, for instance, for making. I think probably this texturing stuff might be going through a plane. So what we see normally might be, I don't know about that, but in this case it's a sphere, so it's the edges are seamless, so we can blend this side with this side. And you must wrap like a cylinder up top. So this can be mapped onto a sphere. And if you go to the libnoise page, you'll see that this is used to generate an entire world for Terragen? Yeah, Terragen. And even a universe for Celestia, or a solar system, I guess. So you can generate pretty high precision height maps and so on with this, and go to town. In an average solar app, I don't know if you'd do that much, but like I said, with the nodes, this might be a good way to make kind of a poor man's texture synthesis program, like Substance, but probably not with quite as high production value on it, or anything with noise really. But it's, like I said, there's quite a lot more testing to do. Yeah, it just triggered an error. I don't know if it showed up, but on the viewing end of things, but it's getting there. I'm going to try to have this in Streamlines, maybe a few others available soon, at least on Windows and probably Android. And I'll see what I can do about the other platforms, but they're coming. So on that note, I think that's about all I wanted to cover today. A bit of a roundup of what I've been up to lately, and I should have more later. I'll sign out now.